On today's show, Apple Online Store expands to India, iOS 14.2 beta released to developers, and our breakdown of the Apple Services announcements from Apple's special event.
This is the Apple Daily.
I'm David, and I simplify Apple so everything just works for you. If you love Apple news, hit the like button, and if you don't want to miss a thing, hit subscribe, join my notification squad by ringing the bell, and I will give a shout out to any new members of the notification squad at the end of each video. Tim Cook took to Twitter yesterday to announce that the Apple Store is expanding to India. Their online store this is, which makes total sense at the moment. I don't think anyone would be wanting to open new physical stores at this point, or at least planning a lot more. A lot of people have changed their shopping habits completely and gone online, but this is a really important step, I think. India is a huge and growing market, especially for technology. iPhones are now being built in India, I believe, so it makes absolute sense that Apple would be supporting their customers there a lot better. Great thing to hear. It also means that a lot more of Apple's own online support will be coming to India. It might mean that getting repairs done in India is a lot better, and you may well finally be getting access to refurbished items, which I think is actually going to make a massive difference for a lot of people. iOS 14.2 beta released to developers. Now, it might seem like we've only just had iOS 14, which is true because we did only just get that yesterday officially, but already coming out to developers is iOS 14.2 developer beta. So that's installing on my phone as we speak, but obviously some developers have already got their hands on it. I live in the UK, so this came out kind of late last night. I didn't see it, so I've just woken up this morning to do it. So that's going onto my phone, but the developers have already seen it. This is what they have found already. So far, developers have found Shazam music recognition being added to the control center, which is quite cool. It's one of those things that's quite annoying because you can get to it by using Siri. Having it in control center means that you can always get to it quickly and actually find it before that tune that you've just heard in the shopping center has finished. There's also a mode called person detection, which has been found, I believe, as part of accessibility, which allows you to use magnifier to determine the distance to a nearby person. I don't know why that's useful, but I'm sure it is. There are also more control center updates with new music controls, which add recommendations if you're not listening to anything, as well as a new Apple Watch app icon. Apple Services breakdown. The last thing that we got a lot of updates on at Tuesday's event was Apple Services. So starting with Apple Fitness Plus and following on with Apple One, which is that kind of bundle deal. There's various different options, so we're going to quickly run through it. I'm not going to bore you because obviously this is the stuff that we all watched on that announcement. I personally think Apple Fitness Plus is a really good deal. My wife is actually a dance fitness instructor, and I've seen some of the YouTubers kind of moaning about the pricing. It's like, it's $10 a month. That's not a lot of money. And also, when you combine it into Apple One, it's a really compelling option. And I will be telling you exactly why I am going for Apple One on that premier price point as soon as it's available. So Apple Fitness Plus, the amount of stuff in here, it's going to destroy Peloton. Peloton obviously charges a lot of money for the equipment itself. So I think like the bike, the Peloton Bike Plus is like $2,500 or $4,500. It's really expensive. You can get a basic exercise bike, a basic stationary bike for what, £80, like $100, less than that probably. If you've got an Apple Watch, you've got all the sensors that you need. If you've got an iPhone, which if you've got an Apple Watch, you definitely have. Except that obviously you don't have to anymore because they've now added the fact that you can set up Apple Watches without an iPhone. The chances are you have. Fitness Plus for $10 a month, instead of a gym membership potentially, if you buy yourself an exercise bike and some weights, could be a really, really compelling deal. So the way that it works is it uses your Apple Watch to detect all of your biometrics, so your heart rate, your movement, all that sort of stuff. It combines with either your Apple TV or your iPhone or your iPad to display the videos. Now, they didn't mention that you could do it using a Mac, but I have a feeling that that will be an option as well. Because there are certain people that prefer to have a Mac, or maybe if you're traveling, you might have your MacBook in your bag and want to be able to do some workouts with that. I'm sure that's not going to be a problem, but it just wasn't specifically mentioned. And what happens is your watch pairs with whichever device you're watching the workouts on, automatically starts the workout on your watch when you start the video. It then sends your biometrics data, so your heart rate, your rings, up to the screen so you can kind of see all of that. Highlights the bits that you need at any given time. So if you're doing a HIIT workout and your instructor on screen is telling you about your heart rate should be elevated at this point, it will highlight your heart rate and make that easier for you to find on the screen. It also helps with encouraging you to push all the way to the end of those little segments. So I think this is going to be really compelling. $10 a month is not really expensive. I understand that it's not an insignificant amount of money for people, $120 a year, although I think you can do for $80 a year if you subscribe for the full year. Anyone that gets a new Apple Watch since the keynote will actually get 3 months of free trial on Apple Fitness. However, if it works the same way that the Apple TV trial did, where you got a free year of Apple TV if you bought a new iPad, iPhone or Mac, you might find that if you want that free trial, you can actually just reset your Apple Watch that you already own as a fresh device, and as you set it up, that will activate the 3 months free trial, because that's what happened to me with an iPad. I had an iPad Air 2 from work that I had to set up just after the keynote. It wasn't even a new one, it was reused from someone that had it previously, but I reset it to factory settings so that I could add my Apple ID, and it completely just set up as a brand new item and told Apple that I'd got a brand new item. So you might be able to get your free 3 months without buying a new Apple Watch. Apple is going to be dropping new workouts every week, so it's always going to feel fresh, and it integrates with Apple Music. So if you've got an Apple Music subscription, you'll be able to grab the tracks. If your instructor chooses to use a really cool track, then you'll be able to access those through Apple Music very easily. And then Apple One. So this is going to offer a 30-day free trial. Apple One is the bundle of all of Apple's services pretty much put together into a single item. So you've got 3 different tiers. Apple One Individual is Apple Music, Apple TV Plus, Apple Arcade, and 50 gigs of iCloud storage for $14.95 a month. Now, that's not bad, especially if you already use Apple Music, for example. That's $9.99 a month. Apple TV is $5 a month, I think, for anyone that's actually paying for it. Apple TV is $5 a month. Apple Arcade is $5 a month. 50 gigs of iCloud storage is normally 99 cents. So it's not a massive saving, but it is a saving. I think it's about $6 that you save. When you get up to the family plan, this makes far more sense, especially if you've got multiple people that are using different items. So Apple Music for the family, so this is for up to 6 users. Apple TV Plus, Apple Arcade, and 200 gigs of iCloud storage for $20 a month. For 200 gigs of iCloud storage, that would normally be $3, I think. But Premiere, which is what we'll probably be going for, because right now our family uses Family Apple Music, because my wife uses a lot of music stuff. She dances all the time. So we already use that. We already watch Apple TV Plus, $5. Although we're still on the free plan. Apple Arcade, I tried. I didn't find it that compelling at the beginning, but if it was included as a freebie, as part of a bigger plan, I would definitely probably explore more of those games. So if you want to see some Apple Arcade game reviews, let me know, because that could be something fun. We could kind of go through all of them because they're all free. Apple News Plus, don't care. It's nice to have. It basically works kind of like an RSS reader, but you get a lot more kind of premium magazine subscription type stuff that's included. So that would be quite cool, but I wouldn't pay for it on its own, if I'm honest. And Apple Fitness Plus, I definitely kind of want to get that, because since COVID, I used to go to the gym like every day, probably. At least 5 days a week, I would go to the gym. Since COVID, I've been back once. I've just restarted my gym membership. My gym was really trying to get people back in, so £5 for the first month and no joining fee, and then it goes up to like nearly £20 a month. That is an absolute bargain because you've got all the equipment there. But if I've got the option of Apple Fitness at home and I can just do different workouts at home, I've already got weights down here. I don't have any cardio equipment. That's the only thing that would be annoying, but there's dance workouts. My wife can keep me fit with that sort of thing. So I might think about doing the Apple Fitness Plus. Maybe that could be a bit of a challenge, and I will update you on my my kind of fitness goals. If you're interested in watching me try to sculpt this into something a little bit more pleasing, let me know in the comments. And 2 terabytes of iCloud storage. Now that is what I'm already on, because we've got so many devices around the house that use iCloud. So I've personally got 2 iPhones. I've got an iPhone XS and an iPhone 8, which is my work one. Then I've got 2 iPads, so I've got my own 5th gen and my work iPad Air 2. I've my wife has an iPad Air 1, my 2 kids have got iPad minis, both first generations, but they're absolutely fine for watching YouTube and videos and stuff like that. And we've got 2 Macs at the moment that are like active Macs. I've got about a dozen up in the loft because we've got old stuff like this knocking around, and my black book over there, and then upstairs I've got piles of vintage Macs. So if you want to see anything on vintage Macs, let me know. If you've got a favourite, there's a G4 Cube up there, there are Power Mac Towers, there's all sorts of stuff. So if there's any kind of vintagey Mac stuff you want to see, let me know in the comments again. But we've got so many active devices right now that we just plow through that iCloud storage. Plus, I think we've got something like 500 gigs of pictures and videos, because I make a lot of videos. We already use a big chunk of that, I think, at the moment, before Apple Fitness arrives, because we will keep Apple TV Plus, because we actually quite like a lot of the programs on there. We're already at like $28 a month that we're giving to Apple, so it makes zero sense to not give them $2 extra to get the fitness and a few other bits, be able to play with the arcade stuff. My kids are getting a little bit older now, they are going to get into playing games on the iPads. I think it all makes sense, so we will be subscribing probably to Premium, and I will let you know how that goes. Speaking of subscribing to Premium, you should join my notification squad. That makes no sense, but I needed a segue. Thank you for watching this video. Hit the bell, subscribe to the video, and let me know that you've done that in the comments. I haven't had any new members for a few days. I know everything was very exciting a few days ago when we got the new event coming, but there will be more news coming out. At the moment, everyone's kind of just trying to digest everything that's come out at the events. We have got new iPhones on the way, and I will keep you up to date on them as soon as we have any news. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you on the next one.